Yo, what is up, everybody? Sir Esco back again. Another chapter from the story titled Don't Turn Around 2, written by Jacob Harris. Remember to use the links in the description below. Show love to the author. Like, comment, subscribe. Chapter 9. Yuri went home after horrific events she had witnessed. It took her hours of tossing and turning, yet was eventually able to fall asleep. Like most other nights, Sayuri dreamt of Shizuko. The two were again lying on a grassy field, looking up at the stars. But, unlike most nights, where the girls would engage in some kind of conversation, tonight, the two were silent. After having endured enough silence, Shizuko spoke. Sorry about what happened to your friends. They didn't deserve to die. None of the people that Hana has killed deserve to die. There was an uncomfortable silence after that. Why was I left behind? Not just for Hana to show me for what she's doing. She's showing me just how weak I really am. You're not weak, Sayuri-chan. You're the strongest person I know. Then why do I just stand there and do nothing when Hana is killing all these people? How is that strong? Shizuko was unable to respond. Sayuri sat up and wiped her tears away. But the more tears she wiped, the more began to fall. You're still here, said Shizuko. What? You're still here. You haven't tried to run away or hide from Hana. You faced her head on. Only someone who's strong could do that. I don't feel strong. Hana's taken everything from me. He took my mom and dad. He took you. And whenever I'm near her, I freeze like I'm a scared child. Look, being strong doesn't require power. Sometimes being strong is knowing when to make the tough choices, even when we don't want to make them. Shizuko-chan. Promise me something, Sayuri-chan. Yeah, sure, what is it? You won't ever forget me. Of course I won't forget you. Shizuko stood up and began walking away from Sayuri. When she looked back, she motioned for her friend to follow. Sayuri did as Shizuko wanted, but as she did, the grassy field began to change into the cliffside where the seemingly never-ending nightmare had begun. The sky, once brimming with stars, was now glowing orange as the sun began to rise in the distance. The last time I came to this place before that day was with my parents to watch the sunset. I didn't know it then, but my parents already knew about my mother's diagnosis. I just couldn't understand why they were crying as they looked out at something so beautiful. I watched that memory a lot in here. Your parents were always so kind to me. Yeah, they adored you. They would always become so happy when you came to visit. I never had any other friends. Shizuko gently bumped her hand against Sayuri's, prompting her friend to hold it. You were always the only friend I ever had, Shizuko-chan. You never had to pretend to be nice to me, nor did you ever ask for anything, and still Okay, Sayuri-chan. You were the best friend I could have ever asked for. The girls then watched, through teary eyes, the sun rising over the horizon. I'm sorry, Sayuri. For what? For being a bad friend. Don't say that, Shizuko. I have been a bad friend. I've been selfish, was afraid of losing you, so I kept a secret. Secret? You were never supposed to be here, Sayuri-chan. This place, it was made only for me. But I wanted to see you again, so I let you in. But that's not the secret. As tears began to flow more rapidly from Shizuko's eyes, so too did more tears begin to fall fast from Sayuri's. You can tell me, it's okay. We'll always be friends, right, Shizuri-chan? Of course we will. Never forget me. And the two held each other tightly. Bright and early the next morning, Sayuri made her way back to the cliff. Like her dream with Shizuko, the sun was ever so slowly making its way up over the horizon. You're up early, said Hana, who now stood a few yards behind Sayuri. Ready for another day of watching helplessly as I bring this world to its knees? You know, I honestly used to think we were friends. You'd always act so cold to me, but I just thought, that's how you were. But as time went by, I realized you didn't like me at all. You just didn't want to be alone. You were afraid. Afraid? An interesting theory, but you couldn't be more wrong. You see, I could have chosen anyone to be my friend, but I chose you. Nami and Aiko were easy choices. They would have done anything to make me happy, but you were always going to be a challenge. But I knew I could make you obedient. You were right about one thing though. Oh? I did use you. I didn't want to be alone, but not because it would have made me like Shizuko, like you said it would have. I could never be like her. Shizuko was the most kind person I had ever met. She never would have rejected me in the way that I rejected her. Oh, how touching. Hey, Sayuri-chan, you like to hear a secret? Those reporter friends of yours, they made me stronger. Their fear wasn't like the fear of the people in the city. It was fresh. They were still full of hope, not empty like the rest of these people. I'm nearly strong enough to leave this place. Soon, I'll be able to kill whoever I want, whenever and wherever I want. If you'd like, I can make the TVs work again and bring back the internet. That way, you can see just what I'm capable of doing. Went to your house yesterday. You think I didn't know that? There's nothing you can do that I won't know about. We found your parents. My parents were weak. They couldn't handle the shame of having a daughter that was dead. That's not what they did, why they did. Of course it was. You think they did what they did? Their hearts were broken? You didn't know them the way I knew them. Me dying just made them resent me even more. They might not have been very good at showing their emotions, but they did love you. You think deep down inside everyone is good, don't you? Like there's not a rotten apple in this bunch. No, I don't think that. I read your diary. There isn't a trace of humanity in you. You were a monster long before you became what you are now. Now there's something we can agree on. I'm going to show you just how much of a monster I am. I'm not going to let you. You must be joking. Look around you. Could you not tell that I've already won? I suppose you think there's some kind of magic spell that can stop me. Is that why you're here? Are you going to try and push me off the cliff again? It won't do anything. I already died. You can't kill me again. Sayuri then thought back to the dream she had the previous night and the words that Shizuko had spoken to her. Only one way to stop Hana. We'll never forget you, Shizuko-chan. With tears forming in her eyes, Sayuri placed her hand over her heart and fell backward off the edge of the cliff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, is the end, chapter 9.